everybody that's in the dorm room with you, they all got the same problems you got, bro.
Yep.
We miss home. We eating the cafeteria food. You know, it's a grind. You know what I'm saying? But you start learning, like, man, we had a bad game, but tomorrow we got practice. I got individual workouts. I got weights. I got to be on time. I got to be ready for school, or else I can't even play the next game to erase what just happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you start learning that and developing that in life. And I think it kind of help you no matter what you go through in life or what you run into. So that next play mentality, if people haven't preached that to you, every athlete is thinking, if I miss this shot, we going to go down here and now I got to play defense. I can't let this shot influence the way I guard. You know what I'm saying? I can't let a missed tackle or a drop pass, a fumble, I can't let that keep me down to the point where now I mess up even bigger on the next play. Like, you can't do that. It's compounding mistake. And if you do that in life, you realize how fast you could get in the hole. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when they call that spiraling. That ain't from your quarterback. What inspired you to pursue football?
I think so. I grew up in PG, Prince George's County, Maryland, like right outside
PG
of DC.
chilling.
Yeah. So I can't be a Wale from PG. And a lot of cats, man. So basketball was big, like KD, Bees, Michael Beasley.
That's my dog.
Nolan Smith, DeMar Jones. Like, we all grew up like within a 15-mile, like 15, 20-minute radius. All of us. And actually, started playing basketball through the same AAU program as them. I just went here, and they kept going.
You was DC Assault?
With Curtis and Malone and all of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Assault.
Yeah.
Oh. I had a war with
he was
Phil.
back. He was back when AAU wasn't as popular. So
right.
It was like they only had 3-4 teams. Like,
copy. But
a lot of us came through DC Assault.
That's
you know what I mean? And then so I played football at the time, but you know, during that time, like PG County and DC was rough. Like in the late 90s and early 2000s, DC was a different place. It didn't look like it looks now, you know? And so when I came up, man, in DC, I remember, being in like Anacostia Park and all the Haynes Point, like my mom and, we just lived a different lifestyle. And so you start getting this mentality because of your surroundings. Mm-hmm. And at that point, man, I laugh at it now, but I didn't have any media training then. I remember a reporter, my first time ever doing something on ESPN, I was in high school, my sophomore year, I was ranked like top 100 in the country.
Right.
But I never had no media training. So the reporter asked me the same time. They said, man, you play this game, you play football with a lot of passion. Like, you go out there, you lay your body on the line. What inspired you to do that? I looked at the report and I said, man, I can do anything I want to anybody and not go to jail. This is what I said. I said to the reporter because I was
like, this is the only place.
This is the only place that I can go out and call and like put physical harm on somebody and not get in trouble for. Like, this was my mentality of playing football. This is why I started to play because
in fact, you're praised for it.
It was strictly that, man. I started playing basketball first. I was fouling out of the games. I fouled out of almost every game I played in because I was just aggressive.
Right.
And my basketball coach just said, man, I think we got a sport for you that
I think we got something
for you that you could do this legally, right? And I didn't know anything about football. I'm 11, 12 years old. I get out in the field, and I said, what do? I don't know anything about football. My coach just said, hey, whoever got the football in their hands, go hit them. This was the only thing I knew about football. And I looked at my coach. I was 12 years old. I said, that's it? He said, yeah. All right, okay, cool. So we're in practice, my first practice, and they blew the whistle, and I just ran the running back, securing the ball. He was on the sideline, smacked him.
Right.
And he went under the Gatorade, knocked everything over and the table, right? And the kid's parent, she was there at practice. She ran on the field.
Real tough.
You trying to hurt my baby? And I'm up here, and I come down here real quick. I got my head between my legs, and I'm like, oh my, I can't, she's yelling at me. All this stuff. I got back to the huddle, and my coach said, hey, do that again.
Run that back.
Yeah, and so that's how, I didn't know anything about the game. I just knew that I can cause harm. I can do something to somebody, and I couldn't get in trouble because my upbringing and what we were going through, man, being homeless, not having food, being on, food stands, being in, welfare.
Fighting all the time.
We was fighting all the time. So I was like, it was my first opportunity to go and let some of that out. for those 2 hours in practice.
Right.
And that's how I learned how to play. And that mentality never changed. It just never changed, man. So that really is what got me on the football field. It was what I was going through, what I was dealing with. I was able for 2 hours to let this out and not get in trouble. And that's the only reason why I played.
That's crazy. But is it good? Because it's like I need some way to give it some sort of balance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I know in my times, like I've had some great games where it's like just pressures at home or just feeling like people don't believe what I'm saying. I want to do this. And now I have a reckless game where I'm screaming in the stands. I'm a little more aggressive. Like I done dunked on somebody and people like, what was wrong with you? And it's like, I had to let that out.
Yeah.
Like I have to let that out. Like it's nice to have them boundaries where it's like, bro, all right, cool. So for 2 hours, I could rock out. After that, I'll be chill.
Yeah.
And you don't get in no trouble. So was that how you used football the whole time? Like I'm not getting in trouble at all because I'm focused on this.
Yeah, that was escape, man. I remember we was talking about a couple of guys that grew up in the same area with KD and Beasley. And actually, Michael Beasley, man, when he was growing, he was staying with me when we was kids for a short period of time.
That's crazy.
B's dad and my uncle were best friends. So me and B's, I would be around him a lot when we were kids.
That's raw as hell.
And so I think that the mentality that I just gathered, it was my outlet, right? It was my outlet for 2 hours. I didn't have to worry about coming home. There was going to be an eviction notice on the door. I didn't have to come home and we was eating syrup sandwich. It was a total escape for those 2 hours. And then what happens is you start to learn how to play a game a certain way. You can't go back, right? Because that was the only way that I knew how to play. So even when things did start getting better for me in my life, I was like,
vicious.
I was just vicious already. And I was like just playing the game hard. It was in practice. In high school, I wasn't even allowed to hit with my teammates. I couldn't tackle. I couldn't hit.
You just had to rap them.
When they had hitting drills in high school, they would send me to an opposite field on these blue and yellow dummies. I would have to tackle these bags because I would hurt my own teammates, but not on purpose. It was just like it was no middle ground with me. It was like
either I'm going 100%.
That was 100% or nothing. So when we started getting to hitting drills, they were like,
save them. Yeah, like save our players. Don't even put them bruises on them. Like stuff like that, I would have been like, man, let him play. Like I'd have been like, man, don't let the man go crazy over here by himself. Let the man play in practice, though.
Right.
And then he around break my leg. So wild. Like Shawne out for the season. Damn.
Playing with Shawne.
Oh, man.
That's it.